Hello. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and install a LAMP web server on Amazon Linux 2. Make sure that it's going to be Amazon Linux 2. That's what this guide is for. I'm going to leave my blog, which is the page I'm on currently, in the description below. Every command that I'm running today will be on here. It pretty much directly follows the AWS documentation, but I have additional steps or additional commands that I've run and I provide here. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So I already have my instance dashboard here, so we're just going to ahead and click Launch Instance, choose free tier only, Amazon Linux 2 AMI. For demonstration purpose, we're just going to go with the tier 2 micro since it's free, but obviously pick whichever one is best suited for you. Make sure you check online to make sure how much you'd be paying a month if you choose anything else. Configure instance details, leave that as default. Add storage. We'll go ahead and add it up to 30 since free tier eligible customers can get up to 30 gigabytes of storage. So we'll go ahead and utilize all of that. We'll leave tags as default. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to leave the SSH open because I'm just going to destroy this machine anyways once I'm done with the video. But if you wanted it just for your own IP, you just click this and my own IP. I'm not going to click that to leak my IP. Go ahead and click review and launch. Launch, and if you don't have a key yet, you're going to want to choose create a new key pair, and then you're going to create whatever name you want. Make sure it's RSA, and then download the key pair and then move it to whatever directory you want. I already have a key pair, so I'm going to choose an existing key pair, AWS Labs, I acknowledge, and then launch instance. And this will take a few minutes, so we'll come back when this is done. Okay, so the instance is up and running, so go ahead and click on it. If you want to provide a name for it, you can just click here. We'll just do LAMP server demo. It's not important what you label it, it's just for your own notations. Go ahead and click on it, and then copy the public IPv4 address here. And go to your terminal and go to the directory where you saved your private key. I have mine in documents. And then run sudo ssh -i the private key that you downloaded or the path to the private key. And then EC2 user at and then the IP address. And then enter your password. Hit type yes to continue, and we are in. Go ahead and run sudo yum update since this is a new machine. Okay, there's nothing to update. We want to make sure that we're on Amazon Linux 2, so go ahead and type cat etc system release, and we are. Okay, so now we need to install the packages required for LAMP, the LAMP server, and we're going to be using, since we're on Amazon Linux 2, we are going to be using the Amazon Linux Extras repository. So we're going to run sudo Amazon Linux Extras and then hit enter. Okay, once that's done, go ahead and clear this screen, and we're just going to do a few more package installs. So sudo yum install -y And so this will install the Apache server itself, and we can actually see the directory that it was installed at. So if we go to print working directory, we're here, and it was installed in var www and then HTML, but there's nothing there currently. Since we are using a web server, we're going to need to open some ports for the site. So we're going to go back to our instance, and make sure you go to the instance tab, click on that, go to the security tab, and then click on security group. Scroll down, edit inbound rules, add rule, custom TCP, and port 80. If you're going to be hosting this live, you're obviously going to have port 443 and add a security certificate to that, but that is not in today's guide. You're going to have to do some additional digging on how to do that. But TCP, port 80, anywhere to allow all traffic to the website. Save rules, and now we need to make sure that the process itself is running. So sudo systemctl start httpd. Okay, and then we can actually verify by running two different commands, status, and it is active and running. If we want to enable it so that it runs every time at boot, sudo system enable, and then the process. And then we can verify by running the status command again. And right here, it is enabled when previously it wasn't. You can also verify a different way by typing sudo systemctl is enabled, and it says it is. So we're good there. We already have the port opened, and we want to check to see if the Apache group has been installed on our system, or has been added to our system, I should say. So we can run cat etc group, but as you will tell, this isn't very efficient in looking for any specific group. We could do better. So cat etc group type grep, and then the group name, and there it is, it exists. So we want to add our current user, so we are EC2 user. We want to add EC2 user to Apache group by running sudo user mod -a -g, the group name, and then the username. Then we want to verify that it's been added to the Apache group. EC2 user is now part of the Apache group, but if we run groups, we can see that it's not currently registered right now, so we just have to exit the system, SSH back into it. If we run groups again, we can see that we are part of Apache. So everything looks good. And we want to, we want to change the permissions for the Apache directory, because currently it's for root and root group, but we want to change it to allow change the file ownership to EC2 user and group ownership to the Apache group. So sudo chown and then we can go ahead and verify, and now this has been changed to the user and the group. If we want to add group write permissions and set the group ID on future subdirectories, we're going to want to change the directory permissions on that directory and its subdirectories by running the following command. And then if we want to add group write permissions, recursively change the file permissions and recursively change the file permissions of the directory and its subdirectories, we run the following command. Okay, and now any user that's added to the Apache group will be able to add, edit, and delete files in that directory to work on the site. Next, we're going to want to verify that PHP is working on the LAMP server we have going. So go ahead and run echo. And then append it to a new file we're going to be creating here. And the new file is phpinfo.php. I'm just going to go ahead and... so right now, currently, we don't have this file. And we're just going to be appending it to this directory while also creating that file. Okay, and if we actually... and list the contents, there it is, and there's the information we just entered into it. Okay, so we can actually verify that the site is up and running by going back to EC2, go to our instance, click on this, and over here you should see public IPv4 DNS. Go ahead and copy that and open up a new tab, enter the address, and you should see a test page. So it's up and running, that is working. Probably should have checked that sooner, but now that we want to check the PHP, we tell the browser to look inside that directory, inside that root directory. So it's phpinfo.php, which is the file we created, and there we have it. PHP is working as well. Once you have that verified, you can go ahead and remove the PHP file since we're not going to need it anymore. And it's also advised not to have it on a public site. We're going to go ahead and secure the database server as well now by creating a user and password. So run sudo systemctl and it's going to ask you for your current password for root. We have not run this yet, so it says we can just press enter for none, and we're just going to type yes for everything that follows. So set a root password, yes, and then create a password. And then, as I said, type yes for everything. Remove anonymous users, disallow root login remotely, remove test database and access to it, reload privilege tables now, yes, and that is done. We're gonna go ahead and verify that that's up and running by typing MySQL -u and then enter the password that you had created. And there we go. And we can also do an additional verification by showing show databases, and everything looks to be in working order. That is pretty much everything. That is the entire installation. But if you want to actually use a GUI, which is not recommended, you're going to have to do additional steps to secure it. But if you do want a GUI for development purposes or just for learning, we can go ahead and install Phpmyadmin by running the following commands. Go ahead and clear this screen, and then we're going to go ahead and restart the Apache server. Next, we're going to want to bring ourselves into the root directory of the Apache server because we're going to be installing the GUI itself. So we're going to need to go to open up a new tab, type in Google Phpmyadmin, and then go to downloads. Scroll down to the latest version. We're going to get this tar.gz file, right click it, copy link, go back to the terminal, wget, paste that, and that'll go ahead and download that for us. And there it is. So next we're going to create a Phpmyadmin folder and extract the extract the package and move it into that folder. Okay, so go ahead and verify. Okay, so that looks good. Everything's in there. Now that that's done, we can go ahead and remove the tar file since we're not going to need that anymore. And that looks good. Next, if your database isn't running, just make sure that it is. Systemctl start. Oh, I misspelled that. There we go. Okay. And go ahead and verify, or let's go and use the GUI that we just installed. And it's going to be the same DNS server that we have here. But instead of phpinfo.php, we're going to be typing phpmyadmin and then hit enter. And now we have the GUI. Let's go ahead and type the username, which is probably root, and then the password that you had created. And it's letting you know the connection is not secure. You're going to have to do additional configurations if you want this on a live site, but I would recommend against that. Go ahead and press go. And everything is working. We can see that our databases that we ran in the terminal is there. And that is the entire installation. I hope this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below and I'll do my best to answer them. If you have any suggestions, also leave those down below. And I wish you good luck on your website building.